Your Royal Highness, congratulations on 30 years of the Prince's Trust.
You're very kind, thank you very much.
Tell us how...
I can't believe it is 30 years. Do you know that
30
thing?
years?
It is rather worrying. But I'm still alive.
Tell us about the different ways the Trust supports young people all over the UK.
Well, as I say, over 30 years, we've tried to find ways, you know, meeting the particular needs and challenges that people face, and really aim to try and bring out people's best talents and potential. Because I think a lot of people, you know, the talent is buried and has never been brought out. And everybody has something, I think. And it's just that business of giving them self-confidence and self-esteem. And so all it is, I think, is an investment in the future. And that, you know, has grown and grown now. So 66,000 businesses we've started in the last 20-something years. There was one the other day who we started 20 years ago exactly, in 1986. And they started with £1,000 in their grandmother's attic.
Really?
And they're now turning over £30 million a year. And they've got offices, you know, in Los Angeles and New York and...
Brilliant.
London. I mean, they are fantastic. It's called Attic.
Right.
I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, you must be.
Now, the media nowadays often tends to demonise young people, and you know, with terms like hoodies and thugs and things like that. I mean, they're all myths that the Trust has tried to dispel and to try and give young people back their self-esteem.
Exactly. But I mean, again, it's very easy, isn't it, to create stereotypes. I just know that there are a lot of people who appear like that, but underneath it all are actually uncertain and unsure of themselves and perhaps insecure. And as I say, all it needs a lot of the time is to provide them with motivation and self-esteem.
Yeah.
And suddenly they are transformed.
How important are William and Harry in keeping you in touch with what's relevant today and what's in fashion?
Right. I'm sure they think they're very important. No, I do. I mean, they are very good at keeping me in touch with what's going on a bit. And particularly on the sort of music front and things like that. I can't keep up with all the different new bands and everything else that bob up on the scene.
One you did miss was PJ and Duncan. They were very good.
No, they were.
When I was in school,
Sir, they were brilliant.
That's those
They
two.
were. we had a very brief music career a few years ago.
Very
life.
Do you have quite similar music tastes, the two of you, or are you quite different in taste of music?
We're quite similar.
Varies a bit.
I'd say his was pretty shocking, but mine was quite
really?
good. But apart from that, we tend to like pretty much the same music.
Yeah.
These two, so you play this stuff, and I'm sitting there going downstairs somewhere. It's a whole place.
It's just like houses up and down the country.
Yeah.
Turn that racket down. Yeah.
And you've had obviously quite a few run-ins over the years with the Spice Girls as well.
Yeah.
They were great ambassadors for the Trust, weren't they?
Marvellous. Yeah, they were terrific. They really were, and great fun anyway. You know.
Would you say you have any favourite ambassadors, sir?
What can I say?
Spare our blushes, please.
But I'm enormously grateful because then a lot of them spend a lot of time give up their time to help with the Trust.
Yeah.
And they do motivate and inspire.
Yeah.
One of the bands that the Trust did help was Journey South. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
I heard about it, yeah. I
Right.
didn't watch that particular X Factor, but I think Harry probably watched most of it all right.
I saw a couple.
You see that? But
I'm
they've
not
done
going
really
to
well.
admit to watching...
But they've done really well. And if it wasn't for the Trust, they were in debt. They couldn't afford to buy any more equipment. But when they did, when they got a grant...
And now I think their album's out. I think it's gone gold or platinum or something. And you know, if it wasn't for the Trust, those guys wouldn't be there. So it's something to be proud of, isn't it?
Well, I think so. And I hope we can go on doing that. You know, but as I say, it is a struggle raising all the money to do it all.
Have you guys got the same sense of humour? Do you watch the same comedy programmes?
Yeah, we tend to do most of the same sort of... Yeah, we like the same sort of things. Although there's usually an argument over the remote control at home about who watches what.
Really?
That usually goes on for quite a while.
Friends is always a safe bet.
Yeah.
The Trust is also linked very closely to sport and football in particular, and you've spent your time going up and down the country and visiting football clubs. Could you tell us a couple of the schemes that the Trust is involved with?
We got the Premier League and the Professional Football Association, who've been wonderful again, and helped us most generously. And you know, I've been to Arsenal and Liverpool, football clubs, and they've been terrific in helping this whole scheme.
Harry, you're an Arsenal fan, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's true. What's that supposed to mean?
And you're an Aston Villa fan.
I am indeed.
I mean, I can understand Arsenal. Aston Villa?
Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're doing all right at the moment, thank you.
Why did you choose Aston Villa as a club to support?
It was the first team I went and watched play an FA Cup game against Bolton. And I sort of decided that we were close enough to Birmingham to allow me to support it.
And you're also president of the FA as well now.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's a great job.
That's a great job, yeah. Loads of free tickets.
They must be pretty desperate, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But it's a real privilege actually to be president of FA.
But the most important question, will you get a hand over the FA Cup?
If they let me anywhere near it, then yes, that's the plan. Yeah.
Well, it's the closest Aston Villa are going to get to it.
And Newcastle as well, I think.
Yes,
probably.
that's true.
Now, we know you three must be very competitive. You all play polo together, Team Highgrove.
Used to.
Against
Used
each
to
other.
play polo together.
He's decided that the pressure of playing with his two sons is too much. We're too good for him now. Got to give in somewhere.
Well, I was going to ask, sir, which one's the most competitive?
They are very competitive, and I remember playing with them the last time I played with them in a tournament. We really wanted to win, and I get this stuff, shouting at me, "You silly old father, get on with it," the usual thing. And I was trying too hard. That's right. But I was trying too hard. I remember doing it. I had to turn the pony very fast, and the next thing, the pony came down sideways, and I must have landed absolutely smack on my head. Anyway, it completely felled me. And I ended up being taken to hospital, where I finally woke up. Seemed a long time afterwards. Anyway, this person here told me later that he thought, when I was lying on the ground, that he said, "Papa's just snoring," he said. And there I was, busily swallowing my tongue. Quietly dying. You remember, you told me
I remember that very well.
that. Imagine they try to kill me so they can walk off with my ponies. That's
And the rest.
Do the tempers ever get a bit frayed?
Oh,
when
yeah,
you're
very
on it?
much so. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely. We work really well as a team because we're all sort of thinking roughly alike. But when someone does something wrong, you get the two very stern faces looking at you, and then you get the bollocking afterwards. So, yeah.
No, it is great fun being able to play with them. That was the great thing. I did have some time playing with them.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Didn't quite have enough to make a team. But yeah.
Have you finished now, sir? Is that you?
Well, I have really, I think. I just felt, it's better to give up when you're still able to do it.
Yeah.
And I shall miss it terribly because I loved having all that violent exercise.
Yeah, but it's best to bow out at the top, sir.
Yeah.
And leave them wanting more.
I was
You guys haven't reached that yet.
So when you go back out, it's like,